Hey everyone, and welcome. Over the next few minutes, we are going to tackle a massive issue for every single academic out there: how to spot those predatory journals that falsely claim they're indexed in Scopus. We're here to give you the tools you need to protect your hard work, your time, and of course, your money. And just so you know, this explainer comes to you from the Scopus Research Hub. We are a channel completely dedicated to making your publishing journey in Scopus journals way easier, much clearer, and more transparent. We've got your back when it comes to navigating the sometimes tricky world of academic publishing. Okay, so let's get right into it. Why is this so incredibly important for your career? Well, it's a huge problem. Some reports estimate that researchers are losing hundreds of millions of dollars to these fake journals every single year. So many ambitious academics, people just like you, fall into this really well-laid trap. They see a super polished website, a name that sounds official, and that big, shiny promise of Scopus indexing, and they bite. But the fallout from that choice? It's devastating. And here's the part that's just heartbreaking. Once you publish in one of these fake journals, your paper is technically published. That means you can't just go and resubmit it to a legitimate journal. So your research is lost forever. The publication fees you paid are just gone. And on top of all that, your academic reputation can take a serious hit. The stakes really couldn't be higher. But don't you worry, we have a solid plan. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll define the predatory threat. Then, we'll cover the warning signs to look for. After that, we'll walk through a 4-step verification process, introduce you to a trusted toolkit, and finally, wrap up with how to protect your research. Let's get started. All right, let's jump right into part 1, the predatory journal threat. Because, to defeat the enemy, you've got to understand the enemy. So what exactly are we up against here? To put it simply, these journals are all about exploiting that publish or perish pressure we all feel. They'll charge authors, often really high fees, for super fast publication, but they offer little to no real peer review. And the sneakiest ones? They will literally clone the names in websites of legitimate journals, which makes them incredibly difficult to spot. So that brings us to our next section, which is your first line of defense. I want you to think of this as your reconnaissance mission. It's a checklist of red flags that should immediately set off alarm bells in your head. So here are the big warning signs to watch out for. First, they claim they're on Scopus, but they don't give you a verifiable link. Uh-oh. The editorial board might look fishy. Are you seeing fake-sounding names, no university affiliations, or just generic Gmail addresses? That's a huge red flag. Be really wary of unrealistic promises, like peer review in just 3 or 4 days. Real peer review takes time. Also, watch out for high fees they demand up front, those spammy email invitations we all get, and an inconsistent or even fake ISSN. That's the unique 8-digit code every legit journal has. If you spot even a couple of these, you need to proceed with extreme caution. Okay, spotting red flags is one thing, but now it's time to get active. Let's walk through a simple but incredibly powerful 4-step verification process. This is your action plan for getting a definitive answer. Here are the 4 practical steps. Now listen, step 1 is the absolute most critical. It's the non-negotiable. Go to the official Scopus source list online and search for the journal's title. If it is not on that list, it is not indexed in Scopus. Period. End of story. Step 2. Investigate the publisher. Are they a recognized name? Do they register articles with valid DOIs? That's a digital object identifier. Think of it like a permanent barcode for your work through a service like CrossRef. Step 3. Vet that editorial board. Google a few of the names. Are they real academics at real universities? And finally, step 4, look at their peer review policy. Legitimate journals have clear, detailed, and transparent policies. Now, the great news is you don't have to do all this alone. Let's equip you with your trusted toolkit. A set of reliable external resources that will serve as your armory for academic self-defense. Here are your go-to resources. The Scopus title list is, as we said, your #1 source for verification. The DOJA, or Directory of Open Access Journals, is a fantastic list of trusted open access journals. CrossRef helps you confirm those valid digital object identifiers, a key sign of legitimacy. And COPE, the Committee on Publication Ethics, shows if a journal is actually committed to ethical standards. These tools are absolutely essential for your due diligence.
All right, we're nearing the end here. Let's bring everything together for a final briefing. This is the core message, the one thing you need to remember to protect all your valuable research.
And I really want you to let this next thought sink in. A few extra days, or honestly, even just a few hours, spent verifying a journal can literally save you from years of professional regret, wasted effort, and lost work. It's an investment of your time that will always, always pay off. So, to wrap it all up into an easy-to-remember mantra, check before you publish. That's it. Check Scopus, check the publisher, check the editorial board, and check the review policy. Don't let a slick website or a persuasive email fool you. Your research deserves a legitimate home. Stay tuned. In the coming days, we'll be releasing more short videos packed with insider secrets and hidden tips on how to prepare your research for publication in Scopus Index journals.